Good afternoon, good people. And this is Elizabeth, and welcome to the Elixir. So, I know I'm late, and I was supposed to get this posted yesterday, but due to spending a little more time at the gym than usual, I did not get the opportunity to do so. But now here I am, right at the tail end of my lunch, but that's just enough time for me to talk to you guys about the topic of social media and how it impacts our relationships. Now, the reason why I feel like this is definitely a worthwhile conversation to have is because I'm telling you guys, since I've been, since forever, since Facebook, which was back in college, hold on just a second, folks, I remember things did transition, because first Facebook was a way to kind of check out the person before you really started talking to them and kind of figure out, and it's pretty much the same thing now, but it's kind of, dare I say, social media has kind of enhanced the level of cowardice, I would say, when it comes to how we deal with our relationship situations. Because there used to be a time where if a guy wanted to get to know a girl, he had to A, go to her directly, B, talk to friends, or C, talk to family to try to figure out what her vitals were, and if he could fit into whatever it is that she had going on. Now, with that being said, now let's talk about now social media in our everyday lives. I'm going to stick right now to the opposite sex dynamic and the dating portion and how it affects it that way. It's just, it bothers me a little bit, because I've seen in certain situations where I have personally been out and about, seen somebody out, they've seen me, I even smiled, gave them the cue, like, it's okay, come approach, you do the smile, nothing, okay? Then they will find me on social media. Maybe we had mutual friends, maybe they had always been wanting to say hi, or whatever the case may be, and they just never did until they saw me out in public, and then they hit me up on Facebook, on Instagram, on Snapchat, on or what have you. And what is the deal? What is the deal with this? Because ladies and gentlemen, especially you gentlemen, come on, if you see the lady out and you think that she's attractive, or you think that she may be interesting, whatever happened to just going up and say, hello, my name is, how are you? I just want to say hi, see how you were doing. If you get a good vibe from that initial first bit of exchange, then by all means, ask for her number, ask her if she would like to video chat you later, something. But for the sake of all that is good and gracious, please stop doing this social media cowardice stuff. Like, if you see somebody, say something. You see something, say something. That's all I'm saying about that. That's point number one. Point number two is that now social media with relationships, for those of you people that aren't sure what you want to do just yet with your situations, if you really want to, if that's going to be bae and you're going to be monogamous with bae, and you guys have had that conversation, if you haven't gotten to that point yet, let me tell you something. Social media will sabotage you, okay? You can't control which one of your friends decides to like your picture, put a comment on your picture. You can manage your page. I am awesome at that. If somebody puts some outlandish stuff on my page, I'm going to delete it. Love you, but deleting it. It's gone. So be mindful of that if you find yourself in a situation where you're talking to somebody and you're interested in them. Because if they see Joe Blow Smo or fellas, Lisa the Bisa, making a comment or liking too many pictures, one picture too many, maybe that's going to be a deterrent for them, and maybe they will feel that they really don't want to talk to you any longer, or maybe you won't be as interested in them because you've got too much going on otherwise. So with that being said, here is what I do. I always give people that disclaimer in the very beginning, like, hey, I know a lot of people, got a lot of friends, so here's the deal. As adults, you got people that you knew before me, I've got people that I knew before you. Until we get to a place where we decide that we want to deal with each other exclusively, understand, I expect you not to get crazy or upset about what you may see on social media, and I will do you the same honor, you know, because some will say, well, that goes without saying, but common sense is not all that common. And one thing about it is sometimes because of social media, people feel like there are certain conversations they don't have to have. Well, no, just because you have conversation or just because you have social media and certain things about a person is put up there doesn't mean that's not a conversation that you now don't have to have with them. For example, you want to know about their family, how many brothers and sisters, where they came from, where they went to school, and all that. You can go on Facebook and pull all of that up. So now you're not going to ask those questions? No, it's important still to have conversation with people, because what you don't get on Facebook is if you ask somebody about where they went to school, they may be able to share, they may share a little anecdotal with you about, oh, when I was in school, blah, 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 where you can really get the substance of a person and learn more about the person. You're not getting that on social media. So I guess my thing there, point number 2 would be, don't allow the access that you have to people through social media to keep you at a very, very shallow level of relationship with people, because instead of actually calling the people to talk to them, you go and check out their Facebook. Oh, I wonder how such and such is doing. You look at their Facebook. Now you felt like you've talked to them. You have not talked to them. You still don't know how they're doing. So for God's sakes, go and call them, text them, video chat them. Hey, how you doing? And you know what? This tip, number 2, matter of fact, isn't just for male-female relationships in the way of courting or dating. This also is just for everyday life relationships. And I have been guilty of this. And to those of you who wanted to hear from me and I didn't hit you up because I was looking at your social media like, oh, they're good, I am so sorry, because that is terrible. When we begin to alienate our friends and family because we feel like we're connected to them, because we have this pseudo sense of connection because of social media. So do the work. It's fine to have social media, but do the work to stay connected to people in the real world, not just through social media. Tip number 3, guys and girls, this one is really work related. These social media pages are getting some of y'all in trouble, okay? Be careful what you post. Be mindful of who you friend. Be mindful of the, when you do post certain things, be mindful of the level of privacy that you put on it, because you can select, I know you guys probably know this, but for some of you all that don't, you can select whether you just want your friends to see it. You can select whether you want that to be a public post. You can select whether you want friends of friends to be able to see it as well, or what. And the reason why I say this is because I don't want my life extraordinaires out there to be losing jobs, to be getting reprimanded, to be having any unnecessary drama because of not properly managing your social media situations. And again, I know some of y'all will say this is common sense, but I know for a fact some of y'all are not thinking about this because of some of the things I'm seeing you post. For example, there's certain things that I have seen that I thought to be funny, okay? But I don't repost them on my page because I am conscious of all the different friends that I have and some of their beliefs and some of their, I am sensitive to others. So I don't want to put some of that on my page, even though I find it funny and I'm not offended by it. Somebody else might be. You guys want to take those things into consideration, because the next news you know, you see Susie Q over here and she's not speaking to you because you reposted something. Maybe she thought it was toward her. Maybe she thought that it was just rude. It was a sensitive area for her. So sorry, you guys. I need to get to my local honey, you guys. Yeah, if y'all see me, you can bring me some. God bless you. But anyways, these allergies. So aside from that, just those are some really important tips. Really important tips. Tip number 1, do not allow social media to cause you to fall into cowardice. Still have the conversation. Number 2, make sure that you don't lose connectivity in your real relationships with your friends and family around you because you take the lazy way or the easy way out and go on social media to check on them instead of calling them, texting them, video chatting them, or snap. Here's an old school idea, going to visit them. Yes. Number 3, be mindful of what you are posting and reposting in your comments, especially if you have people that are your friends that are also co-workers, that may also be friends of a boss, a supervisor, etc. Be mindful of those things. Now, outside of that, I just want to thank you, my life extraordinaires, for being a part of Elixir. I do want to say that here moving forward, there's always going to be so many great topics in the future coming, and I'll really be talking about just whatever I feel is good information that will be enhancing the lives of us. That's why it's called Elixir, the life, the love, and the labor. So we'll cover a lot, but we will have fun doing it, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this. Please like, please share. Also, check out YouTube, because I'm going to be posting something there shortly as well, sometime this week. Okay, life extraordinaires, I love you. This is Elle, and I am out.